Hi guys, so welcome back to lesson 8. In this lesson, we are going to learn about group data. You can pause the video here to quickly write down the lesson heading. The learning goal for today's lesson is we can calculate the percentage frequency and also display group data. Now, we have done some of these before in exercise 8C, where we graph data from a frequency table. Okay, so this is just an extension of that lesson. So I would like you to have a look at this graph here, okay, and see if you can answer these questions on the side. So the histogram shows the distribution of the weight of a number of bags checked at the airport. How many bags had a weight in the range between 10 to 15 kilograms? Okay, and the second question asks, how many bags were checked in total? So have a think about it. You can pause the video here and then unpause to hear the answer. So the first question, how many bags had a weight in the range between 10 to 15 kilograms? So we can have a look from the graph. So it's going to be this column here, okay? And just by reading from the graph, looking up, I can see that the number of bags should be 3 between 10 and 15 kilograms. And then for the second question, how many bags were checked in total? So I just need to work out how many bags in each of these columns. Okay, so from 5 to 10, that's 1 bag. And we did 10 to 15 before. 15 to 20, that's 4. 20 to 25, that is another 4. And 25 to 30, that is 2. So altogether, 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12, and plus 2 is 14. Okay, so I hope you got the same answer. Now, like I said, we have done this before. You can pause the video here to write the notes down. The one thing that I would like you, actually two things I would like you to remember is that between the columns, there shouldn't be any gaps, okay? And also, the second thing is that when you write the numbers, okay, or we call the class interval, make sure that you write it on the boundary between the columns, okay? So make sure that you write it on the boundary. And also, if the class interval does not start at 0, then there can be a gap there, okay? The new thing that we're going to do today is how to calculate the percentage frequency from a frequency table. Okay, so you have seen frequency table before. Now we just need to add another column for what we call percentage frequency. So how we calculate it is we're going to use this equation here. So the equation said to percentage frequency is equal to the frequency divided by the total times 100. Okay, what that means is that, say for example, with this table here, for the class interval from 60 to less than 65, the frequency is 3. So we take 3 divided by 25 and then times by 100. And when you do that, and you can use a calculator for this, you will get an answer of 12. Okay, so in order to get 12 here, and remember that this is 12%, so to get this 12%, you take 3, that's the frequency, divided by 25, which is the total, times by 100. Okay, and you would do this for the rest of the rows here. Okay, now because this is percentage, down here at the total, you should get 100%. Okay, now sometimes because of our rounding, it is possible that this, when you add the percentage up, it will give you maybe 99 or 101. Okay, and that's fine. Just remember that most of the time that it is going to be 100, and it should be 100. Okay, and if you see anything else, anything different to 100, then you should go back and check that you've done the calculation correctly. Okay, this is a really good way to check that you've done things correctly. So again, remember that when we read the frequency table, okay, if we see a number with a dash, so in this case 70 dash here, that means that it includes number from 70 to less than 75. Okay, so this is for this example here. If you have something a little bit different, say 50, and then you have 60, so then this means that this is all the numbers from 50 to less than 60. Okay, this is going to depend on the table, and you need to read the table carefully. All right. Now moving on here. So since we calculated the percentage frequency, we can also show that by a percentage frequency histogram, okay, or percentage frequency graph. So it's going to show the frequency as percentages of the total. Okay, so this is from the table before. Okay, so from 60 to less than 65, we have, I believe it was 12%, right? And then from 65 to less than 70, that's going to be 16%. Okay, so basically that's the new thing for this lesson. Like I said, we have done this before, and I think that you guys can do this as well. Okay. Now let's go through a work example. So we have data here, and the first question asks us to set up and complete a group frequency table using class interval 0-, 5-, 10-, okay, etc., including a percentage frequency column. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So we need a column for class interval. We need another column for the frequency, and another column for percentage frequency. Okay. All right. Now, okay. So here's our table, and so we have, I think, the smallest one. Looking at this table, I think the smallest one for us is 1. That's the smallest value. And what is our highest value? So looking at the numbers, I think 24 is a high value. So we go, and also the question does ask us to go with the class interval 0-. So this means any number between 0 to less than 5 for the next class interval. Okay, so 0 to less than 5, then we have 5 to less than 10, so basically to 9, and then 10 to 14, okay, less than 15, then from 15 to 19, less than 20, and then 20 all the way to 24. Now you can leave it as 20 dash, okay, or because we end with 24, we can go 20 to 25, okay. And then we are going to fill out the frequency table, okay, the frequency column here. Now the best way, I think, is to go through. Now I can go through the rows, or I can go through the columns, okay. And I think it's going to be easier in this case for me to go down the column and just count how many in each class interval. So I have 1 here, 2, 3, and as you can see here, as I go through, I'm going to cross out any numbers that is in that class input. So I have 3, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Now also see that I don't include the 5 because that is in the next class interval. Okay, so I can see here that we have got 3 numbers between 0 to less than 5, and then the next one I have 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the next one I have, so this is between 10 to 14. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, the next one is 15 to 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, and finally between 20 to 25, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we also need a row for the total. So 3 plus 7 is 10, plus 15 is 25, plus 19 is going to be 44, and plus 6 is 50. Okay, so that means that I've got all the numbers, and it's really good to check. Okay, and the question does tell us that there's 50 hours in here, and also there are 5 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 columns. So 5 by 10, that's 50. Okay. For the frequency table, what we do is we take, for the percentage frequency, what we do is we take the frequency. Okay. So the first one is 3, divided by the total, so 50, and then times by 100. And you can use the calculator for this one, and it should give us 6%. Okay, so 6% there, and that's how we will fill out this table. All right, so we've got the percentage frequency for the first class interval. Okay, so we can use the same equation to find the percentage frequency for the rest of the class intervals. Okay, so I'm just going to do it quickly here. This should give us okay, and then remember, if we add these percentages up, we should get 100% at the bottom here. So let's check. So 6 plus 14 is 20, plus 30 is 50. Okay. Plus 38 is 88, and plus 12, that's going to give us 100. Perfect. Okay. And once we have got this table, we can construct the frequency histogram. Now, because we have done the frequency histogram or the frequency graph or column graph before, I'm not going to show you how to do it. Okay, I'll show you the answer in a moment. But we can move on to question C here. And question C asks, in how many hours did the fast food store sell fewer than 10 hamburgers? Right? So fewer, so not including 10, right? So we are going to basically get our answer from the first two class intervals. Okay, so we have 3 plus 7, and that's going to be 10 hours. Okay, and then the second question asks for when we have at least 15. So at least, so including 15. Okay, and at least means from 15 or more. Okay, so we have 19 plus 6 there. So that is 25 hours. Okay, let's check the answer. And here we go. That's the frequency table. That's the graph. Okay, so remember that there is no gap between the columns. All right, and also that the numbers, they are on the boundary between the columns. And the answer for C. Okay, perfect. So it seems like we got all of that correct. Okay. Make sure that you read the question carefully in order to get the right answer. Okay. And here's the question. So for this exercise, because we're starting with the U9 content here, so there's only accomplished questions and the expert questions. Okay, so accomplished questions, you need to do questions 3 and 4, and then for the expert questions, you need to do questions 6, 7, and 10. All right, so I hope that this helps you with the exercise 9I. Okay, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.